Hi, I'm Holly from Accrual Mistress Bookkeeping and Consulting, and let's take a few minutes to talk about how you can actually optimize your bank transactions tab to make your data entry easier. So first things first, I know that I do this in all of the files that I work in. I always add bank transactions as a bookmarked tab so that I can quickly and easily find it. Now, you can always find bank transactions either by clicking on accounting right here, and then it usually is the first thing to pop up. Or if you mouse over all apps and then select accounting, you can see right here, bank transactions is the first option. Now you can also see that I happen to have selected this little banner right here, so it is filled in. That means that bank transactions shows up on my bookmarks tab so that I don't have to go through any additional steps to navigate to that page. So I can go straight here to bookmarks and then select bank transactions, and that's going to take me to the bank transactions tab. Okay. Now, from here, there are some really cool things that you can do to arrange the accounts in an order that makes the most sense for data entry, and also to sort and filter transactions so that as you're going through doing this work, you can do it quickly and efficiently. So, first things first, one thing that I recommend doing is putting accounts into an order in this screen right here that reflects how you're going to be working through them. Now, as a general rule, I recommend classifying all of the transactions in your checking account or primary operating account first, and here's why. If you are going through, your checking account or primary operating account probably has transactions that are going out into your other accounts, whether that's transfers to savings accounts or payments to credit cards or liabilities. So when you work all the way through your checking account first and classify all the transactions there, you are giving a much better chance of QuickBooks recognizing matches down the road and picking those up correctly and accurately. So with that in mind, I'm going to do a little bit of rearranging here of these accounts because I want to have my checking account first, then my savings account, then my credit card. Okay, so I would be working through each of those in order. Now, you can pick whatever order works best for you, but I do recommend having a workflow in mind when you arrange these instead of having to go and search for them. Now, in order to rearrange the order that accounts show up in here, and you can see I only have 3 here. You could have lots more though. I have clients who have, sometimes 10 or more accounts that are actually showing up in their bank feed here, which means that not all of them show up in one screen. You have to scroll over to see them all. So this is where it really is useful to have them in an order that makes sense. To rearrange them, you're going to go up to this caret right here where it says Business Amex Credit Card, and then you can select Reorder Accounts. Once you do that, a screen is going to pop up over here, and you can then drag these various accounts into the order that you want them to show up in. Now, I want the checking account to be first, then the savings account, then the credit card. So for this, all I would have to do is drag that Amex card down to the bottom, and that is going to have them in the order that I want to see them in. Once I hit save, it has now reordered these accounts as I would like to see them. Okay. Now, from here, there are some really cool things that we can do in our bank feeds to make the data entry a little bit easier. Now, by default, QuickBooks oftentimes will have your bank transactions flow through and they'll show in descending order. So they're going to show the most recent transactions that have come through all the way down to the oldest transactions that have not yet been classified. As a general rule, I prefer to flip that on its head. I prefer to see the transactions that are oldest that need to be classified all the way up to the most recent that need to be classified. And you can do that simply by clicking right here and having it sort by the date that you want. You can click on almost any of these items to have it sorted by that particular field, similar to a table in Excel or anything like that. So one thing that I'll do, if I have a lot of data entry to get through, I might actually come in here and click on bank description instead. And here's why. That will then show me any transactions that all have the same vendor or description or anything like that. So I can see where creating a rule might be beneficial or where I could create some automation so that these transactions will be classified automatically. If I were just coming in and starting this classification process, what I would actually do is I would start by sorting by match or categorize. And that is because it's going to show me anything that has a match available to it already, or that already has a rule applied to it. So I can quickly and easily go through and get those items added, then sort out what is left. But a cool thing here is you can see you can also sort by spent or received, and it can go in ascending or descending order. So if you're looking for a particular transaction, that can be really useful. Another thing here is you can search by a transaction amount or a detail. So if you had a check number that you were searching for, or if you knew you were searching for a transaction of a precise amount, you could do that here. You can also filter by date. So for example, if I come in here and you can see I have transactions from all the way back in November of 2025, I might be wanting to get through and get transactions reconciled so that I can really start moving forward with my reporting. So I could filter and say from 01/01/25 just to go all the way back to the beginning of the year through 11/30 of 2025. Okay, and once I do that, it's going to filter down from 38 transactions that I have to classify to the 17 that I would need to classify in order to add them and then get November reconciled. Okay, so if you want to be taking this in more bite-sized pieces, you can do that here. Additionally, if I go ahead and reset that filter, I could instead of doing dates, I could do transaction type, and that is this drop down here. So I could say I only want to look at transactions that have rules associated with them, and it's going to filter out so I only see the ones that have rules. I could say I only want to see something that has a suggested match, and it will show me only those transactions. But additionally, we also have the option to do money in or money out, right? Or just go back to all transactions. All right, so that is a very brief review of how we can kind of optimize our bank transactions tab to make data entry a little bit easier and to ensure a good flow of transactions as we are doing our data entry. If you have any questions, please feel free to put those below. And if you have any other items that you have questions on, please do let me know. I will be recording additional videos in the future. I'm Holly from Accrual Mistress Bookkeeping and Consulting. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.